Afternoon, welcome back to Game Day Live on the Sportsman for our second part of a Betfred Challenge Cup third round doubleheader. We're in Widnes as the Vikings take on the Leeds Rhinos. Alongside me for this one, Andrew Henderson. And Hendo, great to have you with us. Great to be here. Third round of the Betfred Challenge Cup, always an exciting round. And well, good afternoon, welcome back to Game Day Live on the Sportsman for our second part of a Betfred Challenge Cup third round doubleheader. We're in Widnes as the Vikings take on the Leeds Rhinos. Alongside me for this one, Andrew Henderson. And Hendo, great to have you with us. Great to be here. Third round of the Betfred Challenge Cup, always an exciting round, and a real sense around Widnes today that this club has the opportunity to make a statement.
It certainly does, Lewis, and once again it's great, the concept of the Challenge Cup, now that the Championship clubs get to host Super League opposition at this stage of the competition. Puts a little bit more pressure on the Super League clubs because they have to come out of their natural environment, their natural setting, and come to somewhere different. However, for Leeds coming to Widnes, we are at a Super League standard facility, so it may not deter them too much, but equally, like you said, the pressure is on Leeds this afternoon.
Is there perhaps a factor for witnessing this, that come back into this off the back of 3 competitive games, 2 league games, a Challenge Cup second round? Leeds have had a couple of pre-season games, but perhaps not quite at that sharpness that Widnes might be.
No, I think it's a really fair, valid point you make there, Lewis. You know, Widnes are coming into this contest off the back of having 3 competitive fixtures, the 2 league games and the Challenge Cup game. This is really Leeds' first proper competitive match. So, again, yes, it may play a factor, but I think we saw last night on the screens that, you know, it didn't affect St Helens too much against Workington. But I think it's going to be a closer and sterner test for the Leeds Rhinos here this afternoon.
Well, let's hear it from the 2 head coaches. Leeds Rhinos, Brad Arthur, and from the Widnes Vikings, Alan Coleman. Alan, thank you for joining us. A big opportunity for you guys against Super League opposition to put on a performance, and who knows, cause an upset today.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. You know, last week was difficult. We had to get the game out of the way for the league campaign, but you know, it's quite relaxed this week. It's been relaxed all week in training. We've focused on winning our duels, so you know, I think the fans deserve it. So hopefully it'll have everything what a cup tie should have, and hopefully we can keep this, you know, score real close. And if we do, who knows from there.
How much of a bonus is it for you guys coming into this game off the back of a couple of league fixtures, that London game especially played at high intensity?
Yeah, certainly. You know, London are the standouts in the competition full time. So we've been there, we've experienced that, similar to what Leeds are going to throw at us. You know, we was disappointed in certain aspects of the game, but in certain aspects we're really pleased with how we dealt with it. So we know we've learned from that. And then last week it was more of a battle against North Wales, local team with local players who's played at the club. So we've experienced that as well. So it's a great mix for us personally going into this game. So we feel really confident.
At risk of asking an obvious question, how important is it that you start well today?
Oh, it's vital. You know, we're going to break the game down in 10-minute spells. We'll take the first 10 minutes as it comes, see where we're at from that, and then we'll take the next 10 and then next 10, and we'll have four 10-minute spells in the first half, and we'll assess it at half time, see where we are, see, you know, if anything's slackened off or we've improved in certain areas, and we'll target them second half again. So it's a simple game plan from us, 10 minutes at a time, and let's see where we're at from that.
It should be a strong crowd, a good atmosphere. How important is it for you guys to make this an awkward place for Leeds to come and play?
Well, the pitch says a lot. You know, not a lot of people like playing on the artificial pitch, but it's one of the better ones, to be fair. It's a great It's a great pitch. Our fans have been superb. We had over 4,000 last week in the first championship game, and they've got aspirations as a club. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, so I think we've got to get our performances right to help the club along that pathway. And Widnes are banging the drum. They don't want to be forgotten about. They want to still be a Super League club down the line. So I think a good performance today will put us in good stead for show people we can still capable of doing that.
Well, best of luck today, mate.
Thank you.
Nice. Brad, thank you for joining us. It's a big game in the context of obviously this starts your Betfred Challenge Cup campaign. It's important to get it right.
Yeah, it is, and it's a good opportunity. We've got 4 guys, making their club debuts and a couple are making their debuts. So. We've had a good pre-season, and we're looking forward to using this to build a bit of momentum going into round 1. We're up against a good, tough opposition. Watched a fair bit of their vision over the last couple of weeks, and they're going to really test us defensively, which is what we're after.
It must be one of the best parts of coaching when you can hand a young lad his first jersey.
Yeah, it's exciting. These guys, they don't get experience unless you give it to them. And look, he's going to, young Georgie tonight, this afternoon, he'll get a couple of things wrong. But the good thing about it is he'll just get on with his job and go again. And that's the only way, he's going to learn. And Fergus will come off the bench, and hopefully we can find 25 minutes for him. And but he's exciting with the ball. Look, it's great for the club that you get these opportunities to do it. And we haven't treated this game with any disrespect. These guys have earned their position in the team, and with a couple of injuries that we had.
How important is that kind of professionalism going to be this afternoon? Because we do see upsets in this competition. I know you guys will be desperate to make sure it's not you. Yeah,
well, I think you start taking things lightly. Attitude starts to stink a little bit, injuries happen. Look, it's not how I want our club to run and look, and it's certainly not how the players, want to be known, and, where they pick and choose when they want to compete. You can't pick and choose. You've got to do it 80 minutes every week, and that's the start of it now, and it's going to be a long season, and we need to build from right now.
And with that said, we've spoken about some of the younger players in the team, but the experienced heads in there as well. How big a role do they have to play in that?
Massive role. It makes me a lot more comfortable as a coach when you give young blokes an opportunity in a debut, because they've got the experienced guys who will just lead the way, and you're putting them into a good team, a good environment where they know what the standards and expectations are. So, we've got a good balance of experience in the team, and those guys that are in the team, the experience, are really keen to play well for those young blokes.
Well, best of luck today.
Thank you.
Yeah, a place in Monday's 4th round draw for the Betfred Challenge Cup on the line here in Widnes as Betfred Championship Club welcome the Leeds Rhinos of the Betfred Super League. We've heard from both head coaches. We'll take a look at how they line their sides up this afternoon. Starting off with the home side, the Widnes Vikings. They start off with Nathan Connell at full back. It's a wing pairing of Mike Butt and Ryan Ince inside them in the centres. Matt Fleming is joined by Jack Owens. Joe Lyons and Jordan Abdul are the halfback pairing, playing behind a pack, fronted up by Dan Murray, Jay Chapelhow and Jordan Johnston. It's a second row duo of Max Roberts and Danny Langtree, and Morgan McWhirter locks in the 13 for the Vikings. Coming off the bench, Matty Fozzard, Lewis Hall, Adam Lawton, Jack Bibby and Jack Houghton is the 18th man. For Brad Arthur's Leeds Rhinos, he mentioned a couple of changes at the start. They line up as follows. Tom Holroyd, Jared O'Connor and Mikolai Odledsky form a very familiar front row. Castle and Watkins behind them in the second row, with Cameron Smith locking in the pack. It's a debut for Ethan O'Neill. He starts in the halves alongside Brodie Croft, with Newman and McCormack in the centres. Lum and Hall are the wing pairings. And then coming off the bench, Cooper Jenkins, Danny Levi, Tom Nicholson-Watton and Fergus McCormack. And making his debut at fullback, we should say, George Brown, very highly rated, a lot of excitement around him. We will see him in the blue and amber of the Leeds Rhinos for the first time. Alongside me for this one, Andrew Henderson. Hendo, what a round of the Challenge Cup this is, what a time to be here in Widnes. It should be a belting cup tie.
It certainly should be, Lewis, and again with the way that the Challenge Cup is now constructed, round 3 gives an opportunity for lower league clubs such as Widnes, who operate in the Championship, to host a Super League club if they're fortunate enough to draw them in this round. And for the Vikings. They've drawn the mighty Leeds Rhinos, and it will set the scene for a fantastic atmosphere in a game. I mean, a good, decent turnout from the local Widnes support. This stand here that we're commentating from is absolutely full to the rafters. So decent numbers across the way as well. So a decent crowd in for what should be a fantastic occasion for the Widnes Vikings club to host the Leeds Rhinos here once again. I think it was 2018 since Widnes were in the Super League. So great they have this opportunity.
Well, a famous old club, Widnes, of course, 7-time winners of the Betfred Challenge Cup, most recently in 1984. Leeds Rhinos have lifted it 14 times, most recently in 2020 in that COVID final against the Salford Red Devils. The road to Wembley starts here for the Leeds Rhinos. Widnes Vikings, of course, booked their place in the third round with a win against Fatto Heath a couple of weeks ago. We wait to see which one of these proud old clubs marches on to the fourth round. So the teams are in the tunnel as the atmosphere continues to build up around us. And as you mentioned, Hendo, a good crowd on this near side and a good Leeds contingent as well on that far side here at Widnes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join us in the minutes of applause on the 7th.
Every year we get a cup upset at this stage, it feels like. We've not had one yet. Could it happen today? Leeds Rhinos, a real balance of a mix of youth and experience in that lineup. So Brad Arthur saying that they are taking the threat of the Widnes Vikings very, very seriously. Alan Coleman, the Widnes head coach, has just run out down below us. A fantastic reception from the Widnes fans. A real optimism around this club that brighter days are ahead again after what has been a difficult few years after their dropout from the Betfred Super League 8 years ago. And a real opportunity to make a statement here in the Betfred Challenge Cup.
You're not wrong there, Lewis. It's a great opportunity for the Widnes Vikings here this afternoon. They are coming into this contest after playing 3 competitive matches. You know, it was an away loss to the London Broncos in round 1 of the Betfred Championship, but as you rightly said there, an emphatic victory against Fatto Heath in the second round of the Challenge Cup, 76-0, and they've backed that up with back-to-back wins. Second round of the Championship, a win against North Wales Crusaders, 28-14. So they're coming in with the back of 2 wins, which will give them some confidence. And equally, you know, I think, no disrespect, but they'll look at that Leeds team sheet and see a few of the big hitters missing here this afternoon, whether that's through selection or through injuries. I mean, we know that Leeds have had 3 friendly fixtures prior to their first competitive hit out of 2026. So, like I said, a great opportunity for some of those Leeds Rhinos young players. I mean, it's fantastic to see Presley Cassell establish himself now into the first team squad as an academy product. You highlighted George Brown, the fullback, 18 years of age. What an exciting talent. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to produce here this afternoon.
So here come the 2 teams. Callum Watkins leads out the Leeds Rhinos. How they would love to go the distance and be playing under the arch in a few months' time. But the first hurdle for Leeds on the road to Wembley is here in Widnes, and the Vikings. And a fantastic reception as the home team runs out here at the DCBL Stadium. Moments away from kickoff here. And a real sense as the Viking clap starts below us, Hendo, that something special could happen this afternoon.
Absolutely, the atmosphere is now well and truly built to the point of excitement The Widnes fans rocking the Viking clap. And it looks all set here for the Rhinos to be kicking off right to left to the home side. The Widnes Vikings, they'll get the first taste of possession with the football. And Liam Moore now coming out to place the ball on the halfway line. Ready for George Brown. Looks like he'll be setting to kick off for his team.
Yeah, George Brown's first action in a Leeds Rhinos shirt will be to get this cup tie underway. So here we go, Leeds in their grey and luminous green away kit. Get us underway. Widnes will get first taste of the football, and straight away Dan Murray from the back fence makes the first carry. Met well.
Yep, he certainly met a wall of grey jerseys there. Didn't put much of a dent on that kick-off carry. Decent start defensively for the Rhinos, and we have to understand that the Rhinos were the second best defensive team in the Super League competition last season. Just conceded on average 11.48 points per game, which is quite incredible.
So Widnes making progress up towards the 40. Hold, goal 4. And here's Nathan Connell, who showed some real promise in a difficult year playing for Salford last season. But one of the kind of real bright positive things to come out of that whole situation, and George Brown deals with his first assignment of the afternoon well, but then met by a wall of Widnes defenders.
He's lost it!
I don't think there's an error in there. Widnes think they're in to score. We're going to come back with a scrum, but a perfect start from a defensive perspective for the Widnes Vikings.
Yeah, well, it was a tough guarding set for the Vikings. And obviously Jordan Abdul had to kick from inside his own 40, and we haven't had much time to talk about the key players, but Abdul with his kicking game, if he gets that on point this afternoon, that will cause all sorts of problems for the Rhinos. It was a decent long kick from him, which was complemented by a brilliant kick chase from the Widnes Vikings. Young Brown, who's got a lot of plaudits at the moment, returned with purpose, but he was met by a strong defensive wall from the Vikings, which forces the error, and now Widnes on the attack inside the Rhinos 20.
So what an opportunity this is for Widnes. Dan Murray up towards the 10. Stopped 12 metres away, gets decent speed on that play, the ball, and 6 again. Says Liam Moore, our referee. So Widnes 4 metres away, dead centre. The numbers and the shape is out to the left-hand side. That's the way that they come. You mentioned how good Leeds were defensively last season, Hendo. Well, they're being put to the test straight away here. Nice little move around the ruck from Widnes. Ryan Hall just gets a hand to the ball to knock it down. And we are back to 0 again. Jordan Johnston mopping up, and it put onto his back. Frantic start to this cup tie.
Good job that Ryan Hall got his hand in the passing lane there, because if that ball went over the top, it was try time.
Could be numbers here. Abdul, the show and go, then the offload. Johnston has to dive on it to keep things safe from a Widnes perspective. 10 metres away from that Leeds line, still putting the pressure on. McWhirter now has a crack, can't really make any progress. So Johnston a dummy half out to Abdul, and now Widnes will look to move the ball out the back. Connell does well to ride one tackle, but then he's wrapped up by Ned McCormack. Now they'll come short side, could be numbers here. Ball goes to the ground again. Leeds come up with it, and they have survived that early scare. Oh, and a huge shot goes in.
Jordan Johnston.
And if there was any doubt, Andrew Henderson, that this was going to be a cakewalk for Leeds, I think they've been banished in the first couple of minutes here.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think they were a little bit fortunate there, Leeds, that it wasn't judged a knock-on off one of the Leeds players that was defending. But I'll give them credit. You know, they defended their goal line admirably there. Put under a lot of pressure. I think Widnes having at least 3 sets to attack that line, and other than the opportunity that Jordan Johnston had with the ball over the top, which Ryan Hall managed to thwart that attack, they didn't look too threatened, did they?
Well, Croft puts a tall one up into the air. You feel like he's got a big job on his hands today, Brodie Croft, with the youth and the inexperience that's around him, just to steer this Leeds ship around. Widnes back in possession. Jordan Johnston brings us out to the right-hand side, and willing carry from Wales international Mike Butt to get Widnes on the front foot again, and they're into Leeds real estate. Looks to get an offload away, and it's come down on the side of the Rhinos. And perhaps Widnes there just guilty of overplaying and then guilty of giving away a penalty.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Lewis. Overplaying's the call. Langtree, he'd been hit hard. He'd had numbers on him. He tries to manufacture that offload, trying to create some tempo for his team, but he's just basically thrown it out like a grenade. It's bounced, unfortunately, the wrong way and into the hands of the Rhinos, and off the back of that, Widnes have conceded a penalty. So now the Rhinos will get their first attacking opportunity of the game inside the Widnes 40-metre zone.
So out we come to the right-hand side. This is Brodie Croft out the back to Aledski, who just puts it under the jumper and ramps in, takes 4 Widnes defenders with him for a few more metres. O'Connor now at dummy half. Croft again brings it up to the line, and again it goes out the back. This is good shape from Leeds as they move it towards this left-hand side. McCormack in at acting half. Out to Brown. Brown with a short drop-off ball, and Leeds move to within striking distance here. Here's O'Neill. Will they continue to move it over to this left-hand side? They do. McCormack almost wriggles free, but he's stopped. Croft will take the high route with this kick, and he's come down onto the ground. Could be an opportunity, and I think George Brown has started his debut in the best possible fashion. Jumps on the live ball and opens the scoring for Leeds.
Yep, he certainly does, and it's come off the mistake from Langtree with the offload. The penalty conceded a play later. That's given the territory to the Rhinos to pose that attacking threat, and it's come off a kick play for the Rhinos. We look at now on the replay. Ball comes in the hands of Croft. He puts a nice little sort of kick lobbed into that zone around Fleming, who fails to deal with it. It was a nice kick, nice weight of it. Enough time there for the Rhinos kick chase team to get in the frame and compete. Fleming was challenged. I'm not sure who the kick chase player was that challenged Fleming, but ultimately did enough to force the error from Fleming, and the bounce proves kind for George Brown, who opens the scoring for the Rhinos.
And Callum Watkins on kicky duty adds the 2. And George Brown, after coming up with the error very early on to his debut, that'll settle him down a bit, won't it?
Yeah, it certainly will, Lewis. It will certainly just settle the nerves, give him that bit of confidence. Again, it was a lovely kick from Croft. We see it again. Nice height and weight on it. Enough for the kick chase team to come through, challenge. I think it might have been Hanley that was, or Newman, competing on the ball there. Fleming couldn't deal with it. And George Brown, who was in the frame, manages to collect the ball and place it down. So the Rhinos 6-0 up.
Abdul gets us back underway. That kick had a wicked spiral on it. But Leeds are back in possession. And now Cameron Smith looks to bring his team out of yardage. And after what was a nervous start from Leeds, maybe just a settler for them as a team, as well as Watkins takes on 2 or 3 Widnes defenders. 6 again will help them as well. Those rule changes this year to clean up the rucks and speed up the rucks. We saw them in play last night. We've seen them again in the early stages here.
Exactly. I think it's interesting today when we look at that Leeds lineup. You know, Ethan O'Neill, the back rower that was signed in the off-season from the Lee Leopards, operating at halfback this afternoon. I probably would have thought we would have seen made likely Cam Smith in that role, but effectively with Brodie Croft, you know, a lot of the players going to come through him. If Widnes can make sure they can keep an eye on Croft and get that extra defensive number there to try and stop these attacking players, it may prove fruitful for them. But interesting tactic from the Rhinos this afternoon, Lewis.
Well, here they come again up the left-hand side. Strong carry from Presley Castle, another young buck that they're very excited about in Leeds. O'Connor just cleans up a messy ruck. Croft puts it high up into the air again, not quite as close to the try line, nearly works again, could still come off for Leeds. This is still the last. There's a player down here, so Widnes are a member short, and he's done very well in the end, Mike Butt, to clean that up under some real pressure, and now Liam Moore will stop the game.
Certainly will.
Danny Langtry receives some treatment.
Yeah, and Mike Butt did ever so well there to clean that up. And once again, interesting that tactic, that kick plan from the Rhinos, looking to put that kind of little lofted kick into space around Fleming. They're trying to get, I think, Harry Newman a one-on-one opportunity to out-jump his opposite centre man, leave him isolated there. And once again, almost proves fortuitous for them. That's definitely in the game plan, that, I think. Croft with a little sort of dink, lofted kick into that space around Matty Fleming, who's two in, to try and get a one-on-one with Newman.
Well, Langtry is off. I believe that is a head injury assessment.
Sam Wild, I think, not Sam Wild, it'll be Adam Lawton that's coming on off the bench, I think, is it?
Yeah, difficult to miss the imposing figure of Adam Lawton, his 100th Widnes appearance in his third spell with the club today. Comes into a situation where his team are doing it tough here. They've got to get off their own try line. Leeds looking to try and pen Widnes in. Johnston brings it to Murray, who does ride the first tackle well, but then is wrapped up by three Leeds defenders.
Away, hold! Goal 4. Good boys.
Widnes here will be just looking to stay error-free through this set, which they have done. This is the last. Abdul puts a deep kick in. It's a really good kick. It's turned Ryan Hall around, forced him all the way back to his own try line. And well, the one thing that has never been in doubt about Jordan Abdul is his skill and precision with his kicking game. And is that an error? Yes, it is. Well, Ryan Hall will argue that there was a bit too much attention on him there in the ruck, but Liam Moore says that it's a knock-on, and Widnes have another platform to try and get themselves on the ball.
Yeah, we see it here. Numbers in the tackle. Is there some hands on the hand? Maybe a little bit, but Ryan Hall's got the responsibility there. The levers have been let go, and he's unfortunately lost possession. But I was going to give Leeds a rap, because generally when you front-loaded your energy defensively the way Leeds did and restricted Widnes' yardage, you tend to collect the ball on the full 20-30 off your line, and you're returning it back almost into good ball territory. But with Jordan Abdul and his kicking game and the power behind his kick, I mean, that was a fantastic kick from inside his own 30 to sort of trap ball inside his own 20. It was brilliant.
So a big chance for Widnes here. Chapelhow out the back. Lyons is wrapped up 12 metres away from the Leeds line. Johnston brings us short side to Nathan Connell, who will just try and dance his way through the defence himself. Wrapped up eventually. Now Morgan McWhirter will have a go trying to bash down the door. He's stopped dead centre. Options on both sides, but they come out to the right. That ball goes to ground, so Butt again has to track back and mop up for Widnes. Just not able to find the cohesion they'd have wanted in this attacking set. Abdul's kick is charged down. Surely that was played at. Yes, it was. So back to 0 we go. That shows you how nervous Leeds are about Jordan Abdul's kicking game, that they're trying to get out to him and shut that down. Here goes Murray trying to bustle his way through. Widnes fans below us respond. Abdul up to the line. Short drop-off ball to Adam Lawton, who almost crashes over. He's stopped a metre short. Good speed on the play the ball, so Widnes keep trundling forward. McWhirter thought about giving the pass left. In the end, keeps it in hand. And now Lyons will stab a little kick through, which I think is going to have too much on it. Yes, it does, and it will be a 20 metre. Oh no, it's going to be a goal line dropout. Liam Moore says that was taken dead by George Brown.
Yeah, I'm not sure there. I thought it went dead myself personally from first glance from where we was stood. I thought.
Onside!
Well, it is.
Yeah, it's confusing it with the two lines there.
It is a goal line dropout. It's a short one from Leeds, and Lawton just drifts underneath it to pick that up. So Widnes again with an opportunity to try and make something happen.
Come,
10 metres
straight
away
out.
from the Leeds Rhinos
In the
line.
Hold.
Johnston brings us to the left. Murray already been
Oh, no.
really
The line.
busy in the first
Stop.
14 minutes of this game. The former Salford and Hull KR man, to name a few. The kick goes through. Buck could be in for Widnes. Can he collect? Yes, he can. And Widnes score. A beautifully weighted kick. Mike Buck went round the back. It popped up nicely for him, and Widnes are on the board. Andrew Henderson.
Yeah, great try there for the Widnes Vikings. I must admit, they've been finding it hard to penetrate the Rhinos. They've had a lot of field position, a lot of possession in this area of the field so far in the first half. But the Leeds Rhinos' goal on defence has been outstanding so far. But it's took a little bit of play, a bit of quality vision really, to thread that kick in behind. Wasn't the last tackle. Again, they were sort of struggling to ask genuine questions of that Leeds line. And then I'm not sure who actually executed the kick play. To see it again on the replay.
I think it was Lyon who's just dabbed it through.
It was just, again, great vision. He sees that the Leeds Rhinos defenders were up high and slightly tucked in. That's what created the space behind the line. Mike Butt held his width, and that's how he was able just to run past that high defensive line of the Rhinos. And the ball, like you said, the kick was weighted perfectly. The bounce came back for Butt, lovely. And he scores in the corner to take the scoreline to 6 points to 4 in favour of the Rhinos. And Abdul now will have a tough kick on his hands from this right-hand touchline. But he is an accomplished goal kicker, as Jordan Abdul.
Time off.
So from the touchline, Jordan Abdul strikes it well, bends it in and levels the score 16 minutes in to this third round tie in the Betfred Challenge Cup. And you would have to say, Hendo, on the balance of play, 6-all is probably spot on.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think, again, we'll have a look at the replay here. Loose pass there from Josh Johnston. And actually there, I think the kick play come from Nathan Connell, the fullback. So fantastic vision, the former Salford man. Great vision to execute that play, and it was a wonderful skill. But again, you're right, on the balance of things, Lewis, yeah, 6-all's probably fair.
A real punch on the nose for Leeds,
Hold.
who'd weathered an early storm. The Widnes came back at them, and Chapelhow now looks to try and get the Vikings on the front foot again.
Ball, Brody. Hold. Goal 2. Brody straight out.
And that really has brought the crowd into the game below us. Here's Abdul. Looks to apply some width. Connell into the line. And that's going to have gone forward. Yes, it has. So after all that good work from Widnes, that just hold the door ajar for Leeds once more.
Yeah, I admire Widnes trying to move the point of attack and play from in their own half. But
Ball pass.
again, it's a fine line when you
Shot
take
clock
that
on.
risk. And I think in a game like this, when you're playing an opposition that's from the higher division, you've probably just got to be a little bit more methodical and try and stay in the contest as long as you can, and not risk maybe as much as that,
Down, tight in.
because
Shot clock
ultimately
off.
giving up possession after scoring points
Out.
now puts the pressure back on the Vikings.
Here comes Croft, definitely a training ground move on here, the shape the
Oh, no,
Leeds
man.
set up with, but George
Hold.
Brown is wrapped
Hold.
up 14
Goal
metres or so away. Ryan Hall in an acting half brings it out to Croft. Croft to Oledski. He'll take on 3 Widnes defenders,
on there.
eventually
Come on.
stopped for minimal
Hold,
gain.
hold.
O'Connor
Goal 2. You're up,
has
Jordan,
options
Jordan,
on both
up for
sides,
it.
comes right to Brown. Brown to Callum Watkins on that short
Oh,
crash
no,
ball.
God, hit the line.
What a season he
Hold.
had on his
Goal
return
2.
to the Rhinos last year, working his way back into the England team for the Ashes, of course. And now Tom
straight
Holroyd will
line.
try
Line.
and bash
Hit the
down
line.
the door.
Goal 4.
Stop 6 metres away, O'Connor. Croft, fantastic ball from
Great
Croft,
tackle.
a really good defensive
Six
read.
again, second effort.
6 again, no, second effort at the ruck, so Leeds
One.
given a fresh set of 6.
Oh no, Jay, that's
Smith
one.
stop
Back with me. Hold.
12
Hold.
metres away.
Goal 1.
O'Connor comes right to Oledski. Oledski again met
no,
by
Jay.
3 Widnes
Goal line.
defenders and stopped 5 metres away. This is Croft. Croft up to the line, out to Brown, and another really good defensive
Great
read.
defence.
Widnes are up for this on their own goal line, that's for sure.
Jack Owens.
O'Connor Now they come out to the left-hand side. That's Ned McCormack, who almost got himself 3 to score, but he's cut down. Croft, can he dance his way through? He's taken high.
Yeah, Morgan McWhirter there, the guilty party. Just a late sort of arm over the top.
And Leeds will take the 2, which is met by some derision by the Widnes fans below us, but shows you exactly what kind of game we've got on our hands, Hendo.
Yeah, I think that's probably a smart decision from the Rhinos. They haven't enjoyed a lot of good ball territory so far in this first half. So I think for me, yeah, take the points on offer. It just settles them down, gets their noses back in front, allows them to build back into the game. But it's been a good contest so far. It's been a good contest. I think, just as I said, a couple of mistakes from the Rhinos has gifted the Vikings field position and opportunity, and equally the Vikings can argue the same. A couple of errors in the penalties they've given away has gifted the Rhinos opportunity. So fairly evenly matched teams at the moment.
Callum Watkins knocks over the 2 points. Those of you who joined us last night were treated to a clinic by St Helens up at Workington. What we've got here 20 minutes in is a real cup tie.
Well, we said, didn't we, pre-game, and we knew it'd be a closer contest than what we saw last night on the Sportsman.
Yeah. You just play. I know.
It's certainly serving as a treat so far.
Stay on side,
all the viewers.
Well, the first 20 minutes have absolutely flown by, and again that kick from Jordan Abdul swirling around all over the place. I don't know how he does that.
He's an amazing kicker of the football. There is no doubt about that. A wonderful skill set there Jordan Abdul has.
Plenty of experience in the Betfred Super League, of course, Abdul. He won't be intimidated by this Leeds team. Won England cap back in 2021, so he knows the environment that he's in.
Release!
In that kicking game. Young George Brown has been given a very tough assignment on debut. Here's Aletsky up towards halfway. Leeds with the noses back in front and just looking to settle this game down again. And then a really strong carry from Holroyd up towards the 40.
5! Oh no!
This is the last.
Goal 5. Kick.
So Croft will choose to play, and Watkins makes good progress up the right hand side, still going, almost got the offload away, but it was into the hands of Jordan Johnston.
Goal 1.
A nice invention though from Leeds, a willingness to play on fifth, just catching Widnes out, and then a penalty for the Vikings. An opportunity for Abdul to move the game back towards Leeds territory.
Yeah, and I think it's only natural when, for those viewers at home, they've just sort of adapted the rules slightly coming into the 2026 season. They want to make the ruck area cleaner. The ruck areas around where the ball is played and the markers are set, and they want to make that a lot cleaner this season. So
back up, boys.
Hence why we've seen a couple of 6 agains and penalties being awarded for players just not quite getting that timing right. They want them out of the tackle quicker to try and create a little bit more fast, open freestyle play.
Move! 1 hole.
So Widnes up to halfway. Johnston brings us out to the left-hand side.
At the back, 1.
Ball out the back is Abdul up to the line. It could be away here on the left. Widnes. Max Roberts making good progress. Eventually stopped on the 20, but gets a quick play of the ball. Leeds having to track back is Abdul to Murray, who runs into O'Connor and Croft, who bring him down with the help of Callum Watkins. Johnston looks to his right-hand side. It's Abdul again up to the line. Nice little drop-off ball to Lawton, who throws one over the top, but straight into the hands of Riley Lam, and
Goal 1.
just sense a collective sigh of relief from Leeds there.
Okay, now let's go next one.
Yes, some encouraging signs there for the Vikings. They make that line break on that left edge there through Max Roberts. Lovely way to pass from Jordan Abdul, puts him through. They created the space, and then they moved the point of attack to this right-hand side, and Lawton gets a one-on-one with O'Neill, gets his arms free, and he tries the big hit and hope long ball over the top, which was intercepted unfortunately for the Vikings. But like I said, some exciting play for them.
Good carry. Callum Watkins finds his front as well, gets a quick play of the ball, so Brodie Croft can kick from a forward position. Is this going to go dead? Just.
He was willing it there, right, Ince, wasn't he? He was hoping it wouldn't hold up.
Blowing on it, just trying to help it with some extra
Oh no!
wind behind it.
Hold!
A couple of rotations left and he'd have had a job to do, but Widnes do have the 20-metre tap and straight away getting on with
Off the
things.
ball!
Matty Fozzard.
Hold! Goal.
Is it Matty Fozzard coming on, is it, with the headgear or not? Have I got that one wrong?
Well, it looks like it. Just come straight into the ruck.
Hold! Release!
Yeah, it is Matty
Hold.
Fozzard who's on.
Goal.
So he brings us out to the right-hand side to Jordan Johnston. Here's Lawton trying to crash through the gap, but
You ain't in flush, mate.
the gap that had been created illegally, judges Liam Moore.
He's claiming, I think, Morgan McWhirter has taken out the Leeds defender. We'll see it here on the replay. Johnston, who's now moved in that loose forward role. It's McWhirter that runs the lead line off Jordan Johnson, but he takes out the Leeds defender, impeding him from the opportunity of being able to cover the space on the inside, and that's why the penalty's been awarded
Wait for the foot,
against
boys.
the team that was in possession. So now the
Hold.
Rhinos 40
Goal.
metres out from the Vikings try line.
So Presley Castle runs into
Hold!
Adam Lawton, which is
Oh no!
not
One.
something I
Hold.
personally recommend
Hold.
doing.
Goal one.
Play the ball to O'Connor. O'Connor out to Brodie Croft. Croft to Holroyd, who
Hold!
tries to make some progress.
Goal two.
Croft up to the line, drop off ball to Aletsky, who
Straight out, Matty!
is up over the
Three.
20.
Hold. Goal. You're
He'll
offside,
play the
mate.
ball slowly and he stayed down
Back
Aletsky.
10
That's
now, play
concerning from a Leeds perspective. Still going here though is Cameron
Straight out,
Smith. He
Matty!
stopped just
Hit the line.
a few
Hit
metres
the line.
short.
Goal four.
O'Connor out to Croft. This is Brown. Can he dance his way through? Abdul
Straight out,
has
Jordan,
his number
five.
on this occasion. This is the last.
Goal, five.
Leeds have scored off one kick play already this afternoon. Can they do it again? Croft puts a high one up and it comes down and they do score. No, they don't. Look forward, says Liam Moore. It was O'Neill who thought that he pulled it in and scored, but unable to do so cleanly.
It seemed like he scored there from our line. We'll see it again on the replay. Once again, it's that kick strategy they've adopted so far in this half. The sort of lofted kick around that 2 and 3 defender in. O'Neill, great leap from him to out-jump.
John, release it!
Owens and Lyons collect the football, but I thought he scored that, me.
There's a real edge to this game now, isn't there, Hendo? The crowd are in it, the players are up for it. It feels like a cup tie. Lyon to Lawton, who's been really involved since coming into the game.
I no count for. Hold. Goal four.
Fozzard at dummy half. This is Johnston. Abdul just helps that along. Connell will pick that up, but not cleanly, and I think this will be Leeds' ball. I'm just trying to work out live on the field, Endo, just what this Widnes spine is looking like now. You've got two hookers on the field in Fozzard and Johnston.
Yep, so Johnston's moved to 13.
Yep.
So he'll be playing a sort of ball-playing 13 role now in that middle third of the field. Fozzard at 9, obviously Abdul and Lyons in the halves and Connell at fullback. That's how it looks at this moment in time. And again, some adventurous play from Widnes there. They're trying to move the ball, but you've got to say some good pressure from the Rhinos. They had that sort of up and in defence mentality there. Just forces Abdul under pressure, tries to flick the pass on, and great break.
Could be away here. Up the left-hand side comes Ned McCormack. Eventually he's chopped down by Connell, but Leeds on the front foot straight away. Here's O'Neill into two Widnes defenders, eventually dragged down, but Leeds looking dangerous again here. Presley Castle now up to the 20.
Straight out now! Third. Or Matty. Or third.
O'Connor brings us out to the right. Smith out to Croft. Croft to Brown, who has to give himself up.
Stand for!
Just ran behind Harry Newman.
Hold.
A little bit of miscommunication in attack.
Off that ball
But
now!
Leeds still within striking distance as we get to the final play off this set. Croft comes high again, hasn't got the distance on it to get close to the try line, but that's knocked down, but it's knocked down forwards. And Widnes survive again.
Yeah, they're going to have to address this at half-time, Widnes, about how they manage defending and diffusing these kicks, because every time Brodie Croft, and it's a clear
Okay, mate.
kick plan from them this
Okay.
afternoon to
Go.
put these lofted
Discipline
kicks
now, boys.
in and around the sort of centre of halfback's head and try and
3
allow
out now.
their centres
Go on.
to come in and out jump the opposition. And I think, let's be honest, on every kick,
Come off that
I
ball.
think Leeds have come up with possession, haven't they, in some way, shape or form, and just been unfortunate they haven't scored off the back of a couple of occasions there.
Oh no, Jad! 3. Go.
So Widnes back with ball in hand. Here comes Fozzard from the ruck.
Oh no, Jad!
Dragged down by the collar.
Hold. Go 4.
Liam Moore happy with it. Jordan Johnston
Hold.
takes the next carry.
Move now, 5.
And this is the last
Goal,
now
5,
for
just.
Widnes, so look to where Abdul is, that's where it goes. Another horrible spiral bomb for Leeds to deal with, and Riley Lum will just let that bounce, and in fact it's going to bounce all the way through
Going to restart. 0 coming,
for a
boys.
20-metre tap. And perhaps just an
Ball now.
opportunity for everyone here to take a breather after what's been
In the
a
middle, mate. In the middle,
really
mate. In the middle,
fast
mate.
first half
In
an
the
hour
middle.
of this game.
0 coming.
We don't get too much of a let-up as Riley
Oh
Lum
no,
taps and
0.
runs
Hold.
straight into that Widnes line
Hold.
up to the 30.
Go 0. Got to be quicker, Jordan.
Levi now on for
Straight out
his
now.
Leeds Rhinos
Hold.
debut, former Huddersfield
Go
Giants
on.
man, of course, signed from Canberra Raiders in the off-season.
Off him, Adam. 2 hold. Goal 2.
I've been impressed with young McCormack, the left centre here this afternoon. I think he's carried well out of backfield.
Straight
He's
out now.
made some
Third.
good sound defensive
Hold.
reads.
Goal 3rd.
Been impressive, the young centre.
Hold. Release. Goal
Castle
4.
plays the ball and Levi brings us out to the right-hand side. Brody Croft steps in, could be away here. Brody Croft back inside to Danny Levi, and that is a wonderfully worked rugby league try from the Leeds Rhinos.
Yep, certainly is there, Lewis. And has took that man, Brody Croft, one of the more senior players within this team this afternoon. To sort of just give them that little bit of breathing space, or
Yeah,
a little bit
I
more,
thought
put
I
them
just thought that one
in
was a
more into
long
the
one,
comfort
right?
zone, I should say, because they certainly haven't had it their own way this afternoon. The Vikings have been outstanding, have been certainly up for the challenge, but it's just an individual piece of brilliance here. Croft
Pretty compliant
just sees
there,
an
isn't it?
opportunity
No
there
big dramas, we just had Jad dipping
to
on the
take
wing,
on
where he just goes, puts
Jack
that hand on the
Bibby.
ball. Yeah.
He sees that Jack's
what's that
hips
man?
are rocking
Pretty
out,
close,
so he comes off the right foot, beats him on his inside
always
shoulder,
get a look on this
makes the initial line break, and it's
Yeah.
great support from the hooker Danny Levi, who's just come off the bench to try and add a little bit of tempo around that ruck area, and he picks up a great try.
Callum Watkins now have an opportunity to push the lead out to 8 points, and this feels, Hendo, like we're entering now a big 8-minute period of the game before half-time, because if Leeds get another or even add 2 points from a penalty onto this, it becomes a really steep hill for Widnes to climb. They have got to stay in the game between now and the half-time hooter.
Don't disagree with you at all there, Lewis. I think what you say is spot on. Yeah, it's a real important period now with 8 minutes to go. We'll have a look at this wonderful try again. Brody Croft off the right foot. He saw there was space back on that inside. He sees that Bibby's just a little bit wide at A defender, and he's just starting to rock out.
There's a couple where I just feel like they're leaving
Gives him
their
the
hands on.
opportunity
Yeah,
to
no
come
drama.
off the right foot, exploit that space
Onside, boys.
on the inside, make the initial
Onside.
line break, and then wonderful support from Danny Levi back through the middle third on the inside for Croft to score under the post there and extend the lead by 8 points, as you said, Lewis.
So Abdul gets us back underway. Croft underneath it again. And Leeds straight away upfield.
I know,
And
Adam!
they've got their tails up now, the Rhinos.
Good carry that.
And a penalty to boot as well. Will piggyback them further upfield. And Brad Arthur's team perhaps can just
Offside.
smell a little bit of blood in the water here.
Yeah, well, you called it just before, Lewis, about as Brody Croft elects to tap and take the metres on offer. Gives the ball to McCormack. McCormack with a bump, and off he goes. Good carry again from the young centre, but as you said, it's such an important period. Widnes need to defend strong in this final 8 minutes to stay in the contest and keep themselves in the game. Because I fear for you, like you said, a try before half time for Leeds here. I don't know if it's going to be too much of a mountain to climb for Widnes in the second half.
And it just looks as if Leeds are starting to make 2 or 3 extra metres with each carry. They're just finding a little bit of momentum at an important time of this game. Here's Smith out to Croft. Croft to Callum Watkins. Watkins crabs along the line and gets the offload away.
Still 3.
And now Leeds come back the other way to Croft, and there could be space again for O'Connor. And then it's going to be another try on debut for George Brown. supporting at full-back, and he'll touch down, and Leeds Rhinos go bang bang.
Yeah, well, that was the worry, wasn't it, there for the Widnes Vikings, that after they just scored that try through Danny Levi, that it may just loosen up a little bit if they couldn't get their defensive priorities in order before the half-time break, and they failed to do that. It was a great kick-off carry from the big man Cooper Jenkins. He then earns his team a penalty. Croft takes the quick tap. McCormack gets him on the front foot. They then move the point of attack over to this right-hand side. Watkins with the offload to Newman. He finds Croft back on the inside, who gets a nice little short ball to the supporting Jared O'Connor. Adam Lawton failing to close the play. And great support back on the inside, as any good fullback does. George Brown, the youngster, gets his second try for the day. But again, it came off the kick-off carry from Jenkins. Earns the penalty. The quick tap from Croft to create the tempo. McCormack with the play the ball win. They move at the point of attack. Watkins offload. So again, that defensive line's in disarray. And they find space and execute well the Rhinos. Oh, Watkins off the post.
Well, that is a reprieve in a sense for Widnes, because that keeps it a 12-point game, 2 converted tries, and well, Callum Watkins will be desperately hoping that he doesn't come to rue that, as we just have a look at that try again, and it's the same gap that Croft went through minutes before that Jared O'Connor was able to jump through.
Still sad, boys.
Like all good fullbacks do, George Brown just on the shoulder in support.
Time's off. Bring him on.
Sure what the hold up here. Oh, they're making a change, are they? Yep.
Okay, boys. Yep, Jordan's.
So Abdul puts the kick deep. It's where he's been putting those kickoffs all game. Croft is underneath it to get Leeds moving forward again. And just interestingly, Hendo, I saw the interchange ball go up there. 35 minutes into this game, Widnes have already made 5. Well, that might be significant.
Hold.
As we get deeper into this game.
Adam, you're off, Adam!
Well, it's clear that Danny Langtry's, I think you said he went off for HIA early in the game. He hasn't returned, so it tells you they're 1 man down anyway. And like you said, they've gone through 5 substitutions already. That's going to prove to be telling in that final 20 minutes of the game.
So Levi, who's looked really lively since he came into the game for Leeds, has got them on the front foot.
Move down, 5. Hold, lads. Goal 5.
Now brings us to the left, and Croft puts one high up. Is it too far? No, O'Connell's safe underneath it, and then rides a high shot.
Yep, Widnes players not happy with that. They come straight in. It's young Ned McCormack, who's I think's had a tremendous game so far for the Rhinos this afternoon. Great kick chase. But he just gets his timing wrong there. Gets his positioning wrong. I think Connell did a great job. Took the catch, tried to get to the ground quickly. Unfortunately for McCormack, he just didn't lower that tackle height and clips him across the chops. And that's why the penalty goes to the Vikings.
So it is a reprieve for Widnes, but still plenty to do in terms of getting themselves out of yardage here. Up towards the 20 they come.
Oh no!
Job for Leeds. Relatively simple at this point in the first half. Just see these next 3 or so minutes out.
Oh no, Danny!
Get into the sheds of this 12-point lead.
Goal 2.
Fozzard out to Abdul. And Widnes, who for 25 minutes, half an hour of this game showed so much promise.
Hold.
Now need to just find that spark again. As Johnston brings us out to the right-hand side. They could have the numbers here, Widnes, if they can move the ball. O'Connell will just keep it in hand under some close examination from 2 or 3 Leeds defenders. Fozzard drifts in at dummy half and gives it to Lawton. Lawton gets that offload away, unconventional, but it's worked, and Widnes now trying to move the ball, but it's dropped into the hands of Harry Newman.
Hold!
Yeah,
release!
Another mistake made there from the Vikings in their own half, and the more they keep doing that to themselves, the more they'll be punished.
Oh, no, 2, get back, come on. Hold, goal 2.
So Levi out to the left-hand side. Smith just the short drop-off ball back inside to Cooper Jenkins. Jenkins up towards the 20 where
third.
He'll play the ball
third.
to Levi. Levi to Smith again. Doesn't really make any progress with that carry, Cameron Smith. So
Goal 4.
Widnes just keeping Leeds at arm's length for now, but here comes Levi again, and they could be in here, the Rhinos. Good
Hands
work
in there,
from
5.
Jordan Johnson to shut
Goal
that
5.
down. This is the last. Look for the kick of Croft again. Croft's going to go himself, loses his footing, gets the ball away. Widnes are able to clean up, and a slightly messy end to what had been a promising set for them.
Yeah, Joe Lyons did well to just get on that loose ball there, because, like I said, the play
Roll
previously, Danny Levi showed some great deception, showing right, coming left. Ethan O'Neill makes the half break, gets a quick play the ball. And I think, like you said, it was fortunate for the Vikings that Croft slipped when he did, because they were attacking on the front foot, and I think Croft may have had an opportunity to add further points, but he slips. Manufactures a late offload, and luckily for the Vikings, Joe Lyons was able to pounce and save the day.
Goal 4.
So here's Abdul up towards the line, keeps it in hand himself, then gets an offload away to Nathan Connell, who just has to let a few of his Widnes teammates clear out of the way.
Goal 5.
So final play, Abdul puts that one into the clouds. Where is that going to come down? In the end it bounces relatively safely, but there's a knock on, and with just a few seconds left on the clock, Widnes pack the scrum. They might get a couple of plays here, Hendo. The clock on your screen just the guide. The clock in the stadium says the 40 are up. The hooter hasn't gone, but Widnes may get a play or two here to try and steal one before half-time.
Yeah, and once again it's Jordan Abdul's kicking game. The old hit and hope. He puts the old hit and hope spiral bomb, midfield bomb up.
Shot clock off.
It comes down into no man's land, and then Lund makes the mistake. And
here goes Fozzard. He's got Connell on his shoulder. Connell wrapped up. Still we play on here, so
hold. Goal 1.
Another opportunity for Widnes. It's a slow play the ball.
Brody, get back.
Jack Bibby ramps in.
He'll
play the ball 9 metres away from the Widnes line, out to Jordan Johnson, who picks that one up off his ankles, and it's all a bit messy from a Widnes perspective. They're forced back 23 metres away. So it looks like Widnes are going to get the full set in here. When will they look to the boot of Abdul Johnston? Here comes Abdul, there goes the kick. And Newman probably just treading the right side of the line of legal there in shepherding the pressure away, and Leeds are back in possession.
Yeah, it was a nice play there. I like that kick play from Abdul, and I like how he had 2 men on his outside, doubled up on one defender, puts that neat little grubber kick in behind that sort of 3-man, looking for
release.
One of those 2 kick chases to score. But
and there is the hooter. So that brings an enthralling first 40 minutes to a close, one that was nip and tuck for a good half an hour before Leeds Rhinos were able to just find a little bit of quality at important times and push themselves out to an 18 points to 6 lead. But Hendo, definitely a cup tie on our hands.
Absolutely. You know, I think certainly in the first 20 minutes, honours were even. I think both teams enjoyed a spell of good field position and were able to post points. Both teams were guilty of coming up with a couple of errors, a couple of penalties as they find their way and adapt to some of the new rule changes. But I think once they got that second try, Leeds, they just felt like, they just felt a little bit more at ease. And we see some of the highlights here. Brody Croft, lovely way to kick here, trying to land the ball on Fleming's head. Newman up there competing. Fleming doesn't deal with it, and young George Brown gets his first try of the afternoon. It was a clear kicking strategy here from the Rhinos. On numerous occasions, they've put this little lofted kick into that sort of area, trying to land it on the third or second man in defensively to get a one-on-one. But then it was the Widnes Vikings who responded. It was Connell, a little bit off the cuff play. Poor pass from Johnson goes to ground. Connell picks up, but he recognises really, really well that the Leeds Rhinos line was tight and high, and that left an opportunity on the outside for Mike Butt. As we see here now, Connell picks up. You see the outside defenders from the Rhinos are up and in and high, and that allows Mike Butt to get the try in the corner as the bounce of the ball, well, it bounced back lovely for him, right into his hands. At 6-all.
Well, Leeds knocked on the door a bit after this. Brody Croft's kicking game causing real problems. We thought Ethan O'Neill had done enough there from our vantage point, but unable to bring it in cleanly.
But once again, it's that kick plan implemented once again, and again another one. This time not back from Ethan O'Neill, but it's judged to have gone forward to Cassell.
And then this from Brodie Croft, lovely step back on the inside, and Levi on his inside shoulder there to just stroll over for his first 4 points in Rhinos colours.
Yeah, wonderful try. Croft just recognised at number 20 for Widnes. Jack Bibby was just wide at a defender, so there was a lot of space there. His hips were going out, and that's what the trigger was for him to take him back on his inside shoulder. And Levi, who just come off the bench, scores the try. And then this one, Lewis, a little bit off the cuff. Ball comes back inside to Croft, who finds Jared O'Connor supporting up through the middle third, and then young George Brown gets his second of the afternoon. But it came off a strong kick-off carry from Jenkins, a quick tap off the penalty from Brodie Croft that got the tempo rolling. And then again, lovely bit of play, a little bit off the cuff, offload from Watkins. Newman finds Croft, Croft inside to O'Connor, Connor finds Brown supporting. That was a wonderful Leeds try.
So at the break, it is the Leeds Rhinos who hold the advantage. 18 points to 6 against the Widnes Vikings. Stay with us, this is far from over here on the Sportsman, and of course we are just a week or so away from the start of a new Betfred Super League campaign.
What a special atmosphere for one of the great occasions of any rugby league season. He's got the strength, he's got the speed, French, dazzling in this wonderful, most famous and historic of competitions.
I think with a new coach and a new squad, we come in with a fresh kind of face, feel, and I think the boys are really putting in over the pre-season.
Last year was in a very good season for us, but you know, there's a good buzz around the club at the moment, and you know, I'm enjoying coming into work, coming to training, being around all the boys. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to 2026.
The boys that have been there for a while have mentioned that it doesn't feel like it's the same club. So hopefully we're going in the right direction, and under the new coach Kari, it feels that way.
Yeah, it just gives everyone a clean start. You know, everyone starts on the same level. But yeah, he's brought in a very good game plan for us, and you know, everyone's buying into what Kari and the coaching staff are bringing in, and yeah, it's been working well for us so far.
Our focus this year is to put Cass back on the map, and you know, whether it's top 6 or top 4, you know, we're striving to be better, and we're guaranteed. We know that we're going to be up there.
I think it's probably been building for a couple of years. You know, we've been pretty close to silverware in the run-up to last year, and obviously didn't quite get over the line with that. And then, obviously bringing in a couple of experienced players last off-season added a lot to us as a group.
It's improving on our own standards. You know, there's plenty of improvement in us. Obviously, it was a great year, and we're very happy with that. But you know, it's been and gone now, and it's all about the current season. You know, you're only as good as the season that's just been. So. Yeah, I think the major thing for us is just improving what we can improve on, and getting better as a team.
Yeah, with the way things are heading, we're excited. We just got to keep that energy and that focus, and not try and just rest on our laurels from what we did well last year, and just keep trying to build and keep trying to be the best team.
We're still hunting everybody else. We want to go and hunt the rest of the competition to win. When you get a taste of winning, I've said previously, it's addictive. It's you want that feeling again. So we're hunting that essentially, and if that means people are hunting us, then so be it.
It's not very hard to go better than last year, is it? But I definitely think we are. We're a lot more healthy than we were this time last year, which is obviously a big help. We've all been on the field for a long period of time now, so hopefully it sets us up for a good year.
We've been through the toughest times there are, and you know, hopefully a lot of boys feel good from that. You know, it's not going to happen. It's not just going to happen because you know that's obviously happened. But if we can, you know, try use that as motivation to be in a better position this season than last, then I think that's a win for us already.
The comp's wide open. We've said that. You know, you've got to be consistent. If you can be consistent and you know make your your good performance is not too far away, like your bad performance is not too far away from your good ones. You're going to, put you in a good place in the table.
There's always a surprise packet, and this year we're hoping that's us. Not many people outside our four walls think it will be, but we're quietly confident, and just can't wait to start playing now.
Last year a bit of a learning curve, going into playoffs, but the stuff we've done through the season, all the the stats we provided, we're right up there with the best. So if we can keep that going and improve on some of them minor details, I think we should be fighting for silverware this year for sure.
What especially Jake and Brody have done really well is the facilitating. They know how much strike we got out wide with our centres. 2 England centres in their own right, and then we got Ryan Hall, one of the best wingers of all time, and then Mike has got the best strike rate in the NRL, I think. So we just got to keep working on facilitating those guys, getting them the ball, because they can score tries.
Hopefully this year people already know that within our group. I'm not bothered about outside our group at this point, but hope that within our organisation, that we know we've got some belief there that we are a good team.
Try and play the same way every single game. We've played games previous years where sometimes we'll turn up, sometimes we won't, but we're sort of basing our season last year on turning up every game, and if you didn't know what colour shirt we were wearing, you'd know that we were Leeds Rhinos from the way we were playing.
The reason why we're so consistent is just because of the boys. The boys are so tight-knit group, and I feel like a lot of people see that from the outside in, and it just makes you really want to go that extra mile for your brother at the side of you. When you step onto that field, it's a war, and you need to know that that person either side of you is going to be coming to war with you.
We've always had the opinion that we're a team that's going to contend, and I think it's taken us a long while to change the narrative of the public and the people looking from outside in, and it's something that we've addressed, that we can't really be worried about what other people are thinking. As long as we believe what we're trying to achieve within our four walls, then we're on the right path there.
The last 3 years, we've been there. We've been close to getting to a grand final, and last year, we fell short again. So there's a lot of confidence there and belief in what we're doing. So this year, I think, we had some good signings, and I can see some good sign on the training pitch. So I'm pretty excited.
We know how good we can be as a team, coaching staffs included. We know how much belief we have in our team and to getting the job done. But it's never easy. Every year, different teams strengthen their teams, new signings. So we know a lot of people want to be coming for us.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for the city and for the team. I thought, obviously being at Warrington last year, the opportunity came up, and it's really exciting. So I wanted to be a part of that and sort of build something special at York. Obviously being, coming up to Super League, everyone's very excited, and the buzz around the town's great. So it's going to be, pretty special to be a part of.
It's the first time they've had this opportunity, and like I say, everyone's excited for it and looking forward to bringing some top quality games to York, and giving our fans something to cheer about and reward them for their loyalty, what they've, not just for last year but the previous years.
We're probably coming into the competition with inexperience. Everybody's counting us like probably underdog, but it's just like every other team. We're putting in the hard work, we're putting in the days, we're making days count. I'm very excited, and I can't wait to see what the comp sees what we can do.
Welcome back to the DCBL Stadium here in Widnes as the teams come back out for the second half. Leeds Rhinos holding that 18 points to 6 lead, and whilst they are in control of this cup tie at the moment, Hendo, it could quickly switch back the other way.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a big opening 10 minutes, isn't it, for both sides. I think if Leeds can start the way they ended that first half, then I think the game gets away from the Vikings. However, if Widnes can start with a bit of intent and purpose and force a mistake or get some early field position to post points, then they're well and truly in the contest. The only concern I had for Widnes, Lewis, and you picked up on it in the first half, was they'd used 5 interchange in that first half, which means they've only got 3 available in the second half of the Vikings. And being the semi-professional side, part-time team, that could really come and hurt them in the final 20 minutes. But you never know. You never know.
Leeds should have plenty in the tank to see this out as the Betfred Super League side, but they have been handing Widnes opportunities in good parts of the field, and the boot of the man who has the ball in his hand right now, Jordan Abdul, on your screen, has been causing them some problems.
Stay on side, boys!
It will only take one Widnes try early on in this second half to really light the fire under this game. So here we go, second half action in the Betfred Challenge Cup. Widnes get us back underway. It's another high swirling kick from Abdul. And Leeds deal with it safely and bring us up towards the 20-metre mark. Danny Levy in at dummy half on his Leeds debut brings us out to the left-hand side.
This one, we'll get the next one too. Jordan, straight out! Get back the 10, come on!
Would expect that Brad Arthur's message
from
the Leeds perspective will be to keep control of this. Things like that will help. There's a penalty, just too much going on in the rug as we see the new interpretations of the rules this year, Hendo.
Yeah, and again, it's a disappointing start to the second half for Widnes. They've kicked long and give away a penalty there on play 3, play 4, and they're now gifting the Rhinos some good ball field position early in this second half. And I think, as I said, if the Rhinos start the second half the way they finished the first and they score some early points here, I just think it becomes too much of a mountain to climb for the Vikings. So a stern challenge and test now for the Vikings to defend their goal line on this set early in the second half, Lewis.
So an early opportunity for Leeds. Croft brings it all the way up to the line, and here's Watkins. Can he move the ball out to the edge? Gives it to Newman instead, who cuts back in and then offloads to George Brown, who's shown some really bright sparks. 2 tries in the game already for the debutant. He plays the ball to Levi, out to Brodie Croft again. And now Leeds could have the numbers here if they keep moving it towards that left edge. Good defensive read, but unable to wrap up. Presley Castle will play the ball just a few metres away from the Widnes line. Short crash ball, could be a try in here. They've done well again, Widnes, to shut that down. This is the last look for the boot of Croft. Croft out the back to Newman. Newman's got Hall on his shoulder, looks to try and go himself, stabs a kick through. Connell, I think, has mopped that up. He's done well there, the Widnes fall back under some pressure.
Stand, goal 1.
And Leeds unable to make that early chance pay off.
Goal 2, you're right, Brodie.
So Widnes, decent start to this exit set for the Vikings, up towards the 20-metre mark already. They'll take real heart from that. Bozzard drifts into dummy half and brings us out to the left-hand side to Johnston, who comes out the back to Lyon. Looping ball over the top for Butt to bring in. It was quite a nicely worked move until that final pass just slowed it all down.
Lyon 20, 40.
Will kick on the last and taken in safely by George Brown. He's up over halfway and takes the agricultural route.
Goal 1.
Not scared of getting involved. The young man on debut. Here's Ryan Hall up towards the 40. Takes 3 Widnes defenders to bring him down.
Hold. 6 again. Too much. 2 in a row.
And there's another 6 again. So here's Callum Watkins, who makes a strong carry up over the 30. Leeds again building some momentum in this set. Levi to O'Connor. Jared O'Connor stopped 15 metres away.
Goal 2. Give him
Slower
space,
play
Jordan.
the ball. Levi out to Croft. Croft now to Brown, who puts a big ball over the top for Riley Lum, but again wasn't quite on the money. So Lum just has to check back onto the inside where he's eventually stopped. Leeds now coming back out to the right-hand side. This is settled.
Hit this line. Hit the line.
In the middle of the field where Cooper Jenkins will play it to Levi. Levi to Croft again. Croft looks for the big ball over the top to Ryan Hall. That is an excellent defensive read.
Well done. Well done, Widnes Vikings.
Ryan Ince, who read that pass perfectly, and Ryan Hall, he's not an easy man to bump into touch.
No, he's obviously the replay here. Croft with the ball over the top. trying to get Hall into some space and get a one-on-one, but Ryan Ince read the play well. He travelled on the pass. That ball went over the top. He moved on the pass, and then he was able to effect a decent tackle on Ryan Hall as he caught it, forced him to have to try and throw it back on the inside. But well done, Widnes. They put themselves under some early pressure there with a penalty and giving away 6 again. But they defended their try line admirably there and courageously. Done ever so well to thwart the Super League side.
So Widnes back with ball in hand. Fozzard up towards the 30.
Cal, you off!
Just clinging on in this cup tie. Widnes not going away as Lawton plays the ball for Fozzard, who has a 40-20 attempt but just doesn't quite get the angle on the bounce. It wasn't a bad idea, the space was there but couldn't quite execute.
Move now!
I know there are some conspiracy theories about the bounce of the rugby league ball on this surface, which we won't go into, but it is Leeds who are back in possession, and up towards the 40 comes Riley Love. Rhinos just keeping it between the tram lines for the time being in this set. Levi now jumps out of dummy half himself, and he will work his way into with this real estate for the first time in this set, and then up over the 40. So 2 profitable carries back to back from Leeds. This is the last, so Croft puts a high one up in the air for Connell to deal with, drifts underneath it, the young Widnes fullback, former Salford Red Devils man, and he's then stopped by a former teammate of his, Callum Watkins. And now Ince looks to try and bring Widnes away from their own line. It's not flashy from Leeds, but it is efficient, just this arm wrestle rugby league that they've played for the first 6 or 7 minutes of this half. Fozzard looks right to the short side.
Release!
Widnes fans below us asking for a penalty, nothing given. Lawton gets them off the front on the front foot and then gets an offload away. So better from Widnes, still recycling the football out. They'll come to the left-hand edge. This is Ince. Can he find some space? Just runs into a welcoming committee of 3 Leeds Rhinos defenders. This is the last. Abdul, that is spinning around all over the place, and in the end will bounce relatively safely. George Brown takes no risks with it, brings it in cleanly, and now Leeds will try to play from deep.
Yeah, I thought it was a good defensive set there from Leeds until the Lawton offload there. Got a little bit exciting there for the Vikings as Lawton's offload. They were able to move the attack to this left-hand side, but again, another deft kick from Jordan Abdul. Earns him some much-needed real estate and territory. But you just get a sense, don't you, that the Rhinos have just up-tempoed a bit here. It's just almost how long can Widnes repel this Rhinos force.
So Croft brings us out to the right-hand side to Newman, and that is always the risk, isn't it, in these games, that the Betfred Super League side can just take it to that top-tier speed and intensity. We're going to come back here, and actually this slowdown of play probably suits Widnes, because this is the last. Croft just juggles that a little bit, does get a kick away, but drifts in underneath it, takes it well, and then spins out of the tackle. He's done well there. The Welsh international winner, formerly of Swinton, of course. Big shot goes in.
Good shot.
Cooper Jenkins absolutely rocks him with the shoulder. All fair and legal, says Liam Moore.
Oh no, get it! Get back.
So Fozzard out to Lyon. Lyon to Jordan Johnston, who runs into Daniel Levy. Levi will play the ball on the 35-metre line. Back to Fozzard. Abdul, short drop-off ball from him to Jack Bibby, who's up over the 40. And this is the last. Out they'll come to Abdul, who looks to try and turn the back three of Leeds around, but unable to do so on this occasion. George Brown takes it in on the full.
Good shot there from Lawton on Brown.
Yeah, big man on little man. Didn't miss. Adam Lawton as Ryan Hall comes up over the 30. Won the Challenge Cup a couple of times with Leeds, of course. Ryan Hall,
Matty, release
England's
him!
all-time leading try scorer.
I know, Jordan! 4.
Tom Nicholson-Watton now plays the ball. Levi coming up the middle. That's where Leeds have found some joy at times this afternoon. This is the last. It's another messy play, the ball. So Croft is kicking under some pressure. It goes high. It's taken in cleanly.
Surrender! Stand, Cal!
By Ryan Ince.
Yeah, and it's a good outcome to end a set for the Rhinos, isn't it? They finish inside the opposition 10 in a corner. And I think you highlighted there, Lewis, they're starting to get a bit of joy around that middle third, penetrating in behind the block hole and the ruck and creating a bit of tempo and havoc there of the Rhinos. And I think it's, if they stay patient and with that process, I think you'll start to see them loosen up around the middle soon.
Well, with this are keeping Leeds at arm's length for the time being, and the problem is they are starting their sets from so far deep inside their own half. That is played at, but it's gone backwards, and perhaps just a little bit of naivety there from Widnes to put that kick in. It was Johnston who was trying to make something happen, but there is an error, so Widnes will get the ball back on their own 40, and that is the best starting platform they've had probably in this second half.
You're not wrong there, Lewis. They haven't started a set this close to the to the Leeds line. I mean, they're 40 off their own line, but that just highlights, like you're just saying there, Lewis, it's the first time in this second half they're going to start a set in this sort of area of the field. You know, they've predominantly been coming off their own try line because Leeds have been quite relentless with how they've been turning the ball over and finishing their sets this second half. But again, it was a little bit fortunate there for Widnes because Johnson, off the back of the offload, made a bit of a half break, and he manufactures a bit of a kick play for himself, which didn't come off. It almost could have proved costly for his team, but luckily his teammates forced the error in the tackle, and oh gee, that's a high tackle.
That is a high tackle. It will be a penalty.
I think it's Danny
Almost
Levi.
an upgrade from the scrum for Widnes.
Yeah, I think it could be Danny Levi that's in a bit of trouble there. He just got it all wrong. I'm not sure if he's had a head clash or not. We'll see it on the replay here. It's off the scrum. Max Roberts carries. Ooh,
head on head, isn't it?
Head on head, yep.
Just gets his head in the wrong place, Levi, who looks like he's staying on the field. So that is good news from a Leeds perspective in terms of any kind of HIA that he may have to go off for. Max Roberts is still down receiving treatment, so concern for Widnes, who, as we've mentioned, are already down on the interchange bench.
Yeah, they lost Danny Langtree, didn't they, to a HIA in the first 10 minutes of the first half. He hasn't returned, so they are already one body down technically, and they've already gone through 5 subs before half time. So, like you said, but Roberts looks okay. He's back on his feet. Abdul kicks long, and now the Vikings will attack 30 from the Leeds line.
For the first time we've seen Widnes have a good ball set in this second half. 12 minutes in, an opportunity for them to really set up an exciting final 25 minutes of this Betfred Challenge Cup third round tie. Widnes in the driving seat, Leeds in the driving seat at the moment.
Release him!
Looking to book their place in Monday's fourth round draw, but the Vikings have an opportunity here to strike back. 18 metres away.
Third hold.
Options on both sides. Fozzard brings us right to Johnson, his lion, who steps away from one tackle before being brought down. Not a huge amount of real progress made there. Fozzard comes short side again, gives it to Lawton.
Good tackle.
The Leeds defender wise to it. He does get the offload away. No, he doesn't. Adam Lawton lost it in the tackle. And the chance goes begging for Widnes.
Yeah, great tackle.
I've seen this hack. I've got it wrong.
We'll see it here on the replay. It's young McCormack, is it underneath?
Loses it there, I think, almost to get McCormack's back. Keeps the ball in the air, and then a second attempt to get the offload away.
Shot clock's on.
Yeah, it's a good tackle from the young fella. It's underneath. Forces the error, and it's disappointing for Widnes, who for me have done incredibly well to still, they're still in this contest.
Well, Ryan Hall carries from deep. Not a bad option to have, is he, in yardage? Ryan Hall does a lot of work getting his team out of some dark places, and now Newman will look to try and apply some space. Brodie Croft dummies to no one. I'm not sure if that was a dummy or he started the pass and realised that he was the widest player on the field. But met by some sarcastic cheers from the Widnes fans below us. Leeds are up to the 40-metre mark. And Widnes will probably just be frustrated here with how easily they've let Leeds out from underneath their own sticks into Widnes territory. This is the last. The kick will come from around the 40-metre mark. It's a really tall one from Croft, but Ince is safe underneath it. And looks to try and return, but Callum Watkins is all over him. And Widnes again look up to see the full length of the field in front of them.
Yeah, once again, Leeds just rolled down the hill nicely. Well executed kick again from Croft, finishing inside the Vikings 10 metre zone, and said just means it makes life difficult for the Vikings to get forward and get out of trouble. Certainly the Rhinos winning the field position battle in this second half.
So here comes Lawson up the middle. Here goes the big man. Is the support there? He puts a kick in. Fozzard's going after it, and Big Brown's going to beat him to the ball. But Widnes breaking the game wide open. Adam Lawson flying up the middle. Video review might tell us whether the kick was the right decision or not, but Widnes showing that they've still got something to offer in this game.
Well, it was wonderful skill from Lawton. Yeah, I'm not against the kick play there. I just think if he had Nathan Connell on his inside instead of Matty Fozzard, I think it's a try time for Widnes. So, great play. He knocked on
and
again.
An offload and knock on. It's all happening.
You know what? Hats off to the Vikings, you know, because it was looking ominous for them. We'll see here on the replay. It's Jared O'Connor, just a little fumble there. Whether he actually lost it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he actually lost possession there, to be honest.
I can tell you that the
He juggled
1,500, 2,000 Widnes fans below us were sure, Endo.
I know that.
Absolutely no doubt in their mind that that was a knock-on.
I know, but I want to give a bit of a shout out for Widnes, because that 10-minute spell before half-time and Leeds got the 2 tries, you just felt like it was just going to roll for them. But the Vikings have done incredibly well so far in the second half to be staying in the fight. If they could jag something now, oh wow, we are in for a final quarter and a half.
This place will erupt if Widnes are able to score here. Like you say, it really would be game on. Out they come to the right-hand side with Joe Lyons, who's stopped 12 metres away. He'll play the ball to Fozzard, who brings us out to Jordan Johnston. Johnston, just a short, flat ball from him to Lewis Hall, who maybe just for a split second thought it was opening up in front of him. Fozzard, Abdul, short crash ball from Abdul to McWhirter. He'll play the ball 4 metres away. This is the last. Abdul, chip kick across. Can Lawton get up to it? Yes, he can. Can Widnes get this out? Yes, they can. Widnes are over. Mike Butt scores.
Wow.
And this cup tie is very much alive.
Wow, we are in for a final quarter of this Betfred Challenge Cup round 3 fixture. And it's Jordan Abdul, it's his kick selection that proves dividends. We see it here, the left foot, little dink kick into space, and it's Big Lawton who gets the tap back to Lyons, who finds Butt on that right side. He comes off his right foot to improve the position for Abdul to kick from. But again, Leeds looked comfortable defensively. They didn't look like they were going to be broken down with an attacking play as such. And I think for most of this contest, when Widnes have been pressing inside the opposition 20, they haven't really looked too threatening, except off the kick play. And we've spoken about Jordan Abdul and the tricks of an array of kicks that he has in his arsenal. On that time there, he just put that nice little chip kick in behind, looking for a big Adam Lawton, who got in the frame, taps it back.
Well, this is a big kick for Jordan Abdul, because this will bring the scores back to 6 points. It's up. It's good. It's a 6-point ball game with 20 minutes left in this third round Betfred Challenge Cup tie.
We certainly are. Well done, Widnes Vikings. Yeah, they've stayed in the fight and they've been rewarded with some field position and a wonderful kick play from Jordan Abdul. The chip kick in behind to try and isolate the Leeds defender one-on-one with Adam Lawton.
Well, I thought Adam Lawton had a slightly different start to the game, certainly defensively at times in that first half, but he is causing a real nuisance for Leeds now.
He certainly is.
He made the break up the middle moments before, and they just couldn't deal with his height and his physicality there when the kick went up from Abdul. And when you've got a big target to aim at and someone who's as accurate as Abdul,
you're right, Cal.
They could really use that to their advantage with this, and the Vikings have got wind in their sails here.
He's for clear now.
Yep, they certainly have, and how you highlighted Lawton there, Lewis, I don't disagree. You know, he's got that presence.
And there he is again, getting the offload away.
That's him, and he has made a difference, certainly from an attacking point of view, since coming off the bench. Just adds a different dynamic and presence on that edge.
I tell you what, Hendo, this has been fun, and I think it will be fun for the next 20 minutes. Abdul, this is the last. Kicks deep, looking to try and turn George Brown round, and in fact it's Fergus McCormack who's on for his debut, feels that kick. And these Leeds youngsters, well, this is a baptism of fire now.
Yes, it is, but equally it's great experience for them too.
Hold!
They need to be blooded, and there's an opportunity for him here today, but equally I think Widnes are going to have a bit more to say about it.
Well, Ryan Hall is not one of the Leeds youngsters, but that is a strong carry, and followed up by Harry Newman, who offloads out the back to Levi, who then sort of just runs out of turnings and is eventually cut down. O'Connor brings us out to the left-hand side. Nicholson-Watton with the carry.
Move,
this is the last, and all of a sudden these Leeds kicks are just coming from end of sets slightly deeper, although they'll go for it on this one. Watkins does eventually put it up into the air for Connell to deal with, and he's done well. The Widnes fall back.
Stand! Hold! Great 10 players, boys. Oh no, Jad! 2. Hold!
So the Vikings back in possession and back in this game.
Jared, oh no! 3, roll away!
And Mike Butt, who scored that try, gets a decent speed of that play, the ball, followed up by Matt Fleming, who gets the offload away, and we're seeing that come into this game more and more. And Murray's mopped up and then done really well, actually, to recover a few yards. Chapelhow up to the 40. This is the last. Fozzard again. Not sure if that was a 40-20 attempt, but he has turned the Leeds back three around. Is that ball going to go dead? Yes, it is. Just 2 or 3 too many rotations on it from a Widnes perspective.
Yeah.
And Leeds have a platform from a 20-metre tap. Breathless, Andrew Henderson.
Yeah, no. Well, it's a useful weapon for the Vikings, having a dummy half that can kick long and short. It's just unfortunate there for Fozzard. He just couldn't get the ball to hold up that metre or so infield. So it could have been a big kick for the Vikings.
Here goes Ryan Hall up the middle. Strong, hard carry from him up towards halfway.
Roll away. Goal 2.
Levi will now bring us out to the left-hand side. Strong carry from Holroyd, but met well. Here's Danny Levi again. Gets the offload away. That's really clever. And now here goes Brodie Croft. Can he find some space up the middle? Shut down.
Goal 4.
Now they'll come out to the left-hand side. Are the numbers there? Another really good defensive read. And an error as well in there. So Widnes will get the ball back, and it is just not going Leeds' way at the moment.
No, not at all. Good defensive play here from the Widnes Vikings. They try and get down the short side. Brown out the back there, and it's McCormack that gets hit by Roberts. Sort of simultaneously as he catches the football, Roberts reads the play, puts that pressure on, gets him, forces the error. The youngsters there trying to link up on that left-hand side. It's McCormack out the back. Fergus McCormack, who finds Ned.
Nice and tight,
on the outside, but the error is made, and the Vikings survive.
Well, they have, again, got to work from deep here, Widnes, but they will feel that all the time they have the ball in their hand, they have a chance in this game. Shouts for a penalty for the Widnes fans below us. Not given. Tackle was a acceptable heights as Liam Moore, the referee, and Widnes are up over their own 30. Decent progress made. Fozzard brings us out to the right-hand side.
Release him, Ethan!
Shape now is stacked to the left. And that's the way they come. Lions out the back to Abdul, who just keeps it in hand himself, shrugs off Jared O'Connor, but then wrapped up by Callum Watkins. This is the fourth, so they'll have a tackle here for Abdul to get himself back into kicking position as Dan Murray shrugs off a few defenders.
Good carry.
Some bonus meters there. This is the last. Abdul puts a little bit of backspin on that one. The young fullback's done really well to bring that in under some pressure, because he was absolutely creamed by Matt Fleming afterwards.
Oh, feel the energy from the
noise
crowd.
around us, Hendo. They know that 15 minutes left in this game could produce a very special moment for a club with such a proud history in this competition. 7 times Betfred Challenge Cup winners, the Widnes Vikings. Leeds still, of course, with the 6-point advantage. And there could be through here. Here goes Riley Lum. Great work from Lum. Takes O'Connell. Lum's going to go all the way himself. Could this be the moment? Riley Lum scores. And from nowhere, Leeds extend their lead back out again.
That's a brilliant individual try from Riley Lum. It certainly silenced the Widnes faithful, because it's just come out of nothing. It is just individual brilliance, footwork, speed, agility, balance, you name it. He just displayed it. We'll see it here on the replay. Beats the tackle of Fozzard, uses his speed to go around Dan Murray. Good footwork and evasion to beat the fullback Nathan Connell and score under the post. A brilliant individual try from Riley Lum, and I must say, from the Leeds Rhinos perspective, much needed, because you could sense the Vikings were raising and coming after them, and that will certainly just relieve some pressure.
Feels like the game-breaking try.
Yeah, that's a great way of describing it, Lewis. Probably is the game-breaking try.
Probably the bubble burster here in Widnes. And Watkins brushes that one over without any problems. So we're back up to a 12-point lead for the Leeds Rhinos.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be disappointed there, the Widnes Vikings, because they've done incredibly well to stay in the fight and remain in the contest. Certainly after losing Danny Langtree early in the game and being forced into making some early substitutions in that first half, and I thought they were going to fall away in the final 20, but they've stayed in the fight. And
yeah, they've certainly not done that.
No, they stuck in it and got within 6 points, and they'll just be disappointed there, Matty Fozzard and Johnson, for just letting Lum get through there. This puts them back to a 12-point deficit, listen, they've still got time to claw back.
Well, 10 tries in 16 games in 2025 for Riley Lum. Impressive strike rate from the young man, and another one on this conveyor belt of talent that they're very excited about at Headingley. And it just feels like that has taken some of the energy, some of the jeopardy out of this cup tie. As Watkins plays the ball on the 40 to O'Connor, and then Brown brings us out to the left-hand side, and Leeds
release!
Just finding a few extra metres on each carry again, like they were at times in the first half. This is the last, so they're going to have to do something with this. In the end, it's a fairly agricultural boot from Fergus McCormack, and Ryan Ince is underneath it and will return up towards the 30.
Release, Cal!
It's big like this is a foregone conclusion, Hendo. There's still 12 minutes in this game. Leeds have just left the door ajar a couple of times with errors and penalties at key moments.
Yeah, well, what you're just saying there, it's going to take probably some penalties to get them downfield. Unfortunately for Widnes in the second half, let's be honest, they've only had one attacking set really inside the 20-metre zone of the Leeds Rhino. Yes, they posted points on the back of it, but they just haven't been able to earn enough field position and possession in the right end of the field. And that's partly due to the process that Leeds are going through in terms of turning the ball over in the right areas.
So here's Abdul, brings it up to the line and then puts a high one up into the air. Underneath it is Fergus McCormack, who's done well on that occasion to bring that in cleanly. Croft now to Ryan Hall.
Out now, Dan! 2. Hold here. Hold. Go 2. Gotta be quicker, Dan. Come on. Not too much.
And Leeds probably won't mind just slowing the game down a little bit here, working through the carries, working the floor a bit more and taking some energy out, and that will help.
I spoke to you in the previous tackle.
Dan Murray just doing a bit too much
1, 2
in the ruck.
The referee just highlighting that he'd spoke to him in the previous tackle and give him a bit of a warning.
There you go, mate.
He's obviously not listened, so he's penalised him. This will just give the Rhinos some field position now inside the Vikings half, so I think they'll be hoping that they can produce a brilliant attacking set here and post further points, but equally the Vikings will be determined to stop that.
Hold. Go on, 1, good lads.
Croft now drops off Presley Cassell back on the inside, tries to keep the legs driving and pumping.
So one more try here really would finish this game off for Leeds as Croft brings us out to the left hand side to O'Connor.
Hold! Release! Go,
O'Connor now plays the ball and Croft again coming up to the line, and that has gone behind him. It's kicked on. Oh, it's just, it's like my golf, that one, Endo, just sandwiched into the crowd.
Yeah, it's one of those. Fleming, should he have collected the ball, just picked it up and gone, or does he do what he did and try and hack it forward and back himself with the pace he has to
play the ball there, lads? Yeah.
But you're at that point of the game, are you? We've got to try and make something happen.
Yeah, you're chasing now, aren't you? There's less than 10 minutes to go. You're chasing the game to a degree, and I think from a Widnes point of view, they haven't had a lot of field position, so he probably thought it was worth the risk. Unfortunately, didn't come up with the rewards from it.
Hold.
So Levi
come on.
Plays the ball left to O'Connor. He takes on Fozzard and he's eventually brought down.
2. Hold. Go 2.
And this is Presley Cassell, who's shown some bright moments in this game, the youngster. He'll play the ball on the 20. Dead centre, options on both sides. They'll come right. Croft. Oh, and McCormack does well to just immediately ride the tackle, initially ride the tackle and then get himself out of trouble. He eventually is wrapped up.
It's good defence from Fleming there.
Here's O'Connor. Now here's Croft. He's brought down. If you're really in game management mode, Hendo, do you start thinking about the 1 point at this stage?
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it.
It's not what Leeds are going to do on this occasion. Brown puts the kick out, taken well by Butt, but he's forced back over the line, and
feel the
it will be a goal line dropout.
Goal line dropout.
Nice little kick there from George Brown, who, as we've seen, has moved into the halves since Fergus McCormack came off the bench. Gone into the fullback role.
Time off.
That was a neat little kick there from Brown. But yeah, I'm not against that, what you suggested there. Knock the one over.
Stay on
Knock the one over, and then it's game over then, isn't it? I can't see Widnes scoring 3 times.
Short dropout, Leeds take it in. So they are within striking distance. The drop goal is in play as an option in this set. I would imagine that they'll fancy 4 rather than 1. They get 6 to go on that occasion.
Oh no! Hold. Go 1.
And just a couple of metres away as Presley Cassell carries in. In fact, I think he's going to be carried over the line here and held up. So that'll move them back to the 10-metre line.
Stand up anyway.
Whatever happens in the next 7 minutes of this game, Widnes can take a huge amount of pride and heart, but encouragement as well in the way they've performed and taken that into their Betfred Championship campaign. Here's Jared O'Connor. Leeds have done what they've had to keep the Vikings at arm's length.
Goal 3. Pulls up.
And now Croft to Watkins. Can Watkins just slide through that defensive line? Not quite wrapped up. Abdul in there.
Release! Oh.
As is McWhirter. Here's Croft. Holroyd just centres things up again. Options on both sides.
Goal 5.
Levi in. Here they go for the one. Brodie Croft brushes it over. And that does move Leeds into an unassailable lead, you would feel. We thought it might be coming. And that shows you the respect that Leeds have got for this game and for this result. Getting the important stuff done and getting themselves in the hat for the next round.
Yeah, smart play there. Brodie Croft, who I think for me has been very good for the Rhinos this afternoon. He's been the only sort of focal point really in terms of from the halves point of view.
I'm not sure.
He's had to run the team. I think his kicking game on the whole's been pretty good. He's had a hand in a few of the tries. And that was smart play from Croft there. Set himself deep in the pocket. New knock over the 1 point. Means that the Vikings have to score 3 times to win the game, which I don't think is going to happen in the next.
A short kick-off comes back on the side of Widnes. And here's Nathan Connell trying to skate away from a few Leeds defenders. You wonder with the control that Abdul has on the ball why they don't go that with that option every time. But here come Widnes up towards the 20. Can they finish with a flourish, the Betfred Championship side? Lewis Hall is forced back onto his back, and now Murray will carry up towards the 10.
Out, Ethan! 2. Back up, Paul.
Fozzard in at dummy half. Comes short side. Lawton was rampaging down the right edge there, but eventually is cut down out to Lyons. Lyons finds Abdul. Newman with the defensive lead. Abdul stabs a kick through. Can Ryan Hall get there? Yes, he can, but he has to put the ball into safety. And Widnes will get a repeat set on the Leeds line.
Hey, that was some good rugby league there from Widnes. Great play from Lawton again. He crashes close to the line, gets a quick play the ball, and then we see the ball come wide to Abdul. And he manufactures a wonderful kick in behind after being spooked by the up and in defence from the Rhinos.
Hit that line.
Murray plays the ball. Fozzard along the ground before eventually being mopped up by McWhirter.
Straight on, Jad!
He'll play the ball 5 metres away. It's a slightly stunted play the ball, so not a huge amount of momentum on here. They try one over the top, and Riley Lum just puts a big hand into the air to knock that down.
Play there, lads, play the ball.
Leeds happy to spend the last few minutes of this game defending their own line.
Yeah, it won't do them any harm in terms of their prep moving forward. But they have on the whole defended their try line really well this afternoon. Widnes have on few occasions really troubled the line, have they? As Fozzard almost gets through.
Still going, Fozzard held up. And with a couple of minutes left in this game, I'm going to have to ask you to start thinking about your Betfred player of the match.
Yeah, well, I pretty much know. I think who.
Well, we'll let Widnes play this set out, see what comes of this, and then I'll come back to you on that one.
Oh no, Danny!
Owens trying to bash the door down. Fozzard, he'll go himself. Can he get through? Has he got that down? No, just held up. I think he fought for a second there. Matty Fozzard, he'd picked the lock. So out they come to Abdul. Back on the inside to McWhirter, who stabs another kick through. With this force, another repeat set. So, and note your Betfred player of the match if you would.
Yeah, look, I think it's there's been some great performers within the Widnes ranks, and they've been very, very admirable in their performance. But obviously, we have to go for the winning side, which is likely to be the winning side, the Leeds Rhinos. I'm going to go with Brodie Croft. I think the contributions he's had this afternoon for his team, he's been effectively the sole pivot for his side. He's controlled the game fairly well in terms of his kicking game. He's had a hand in a number of the tries in terms of the try assists. So, and obviously the drop goal to seal it. I think Brodie Croft's our man of the match.
It's Brodie Croft, the Betfred player of the match, as Widnes have another repeat set to try and finish with a flourish here.
Release! 3.
Chapelhouse will play the ball to Fozzard, who brings us out to the right-hand side. This is Lyons. Looked for a second as if he was going to try the Harbour Bridge ball over the top. That ball's come loose and back into the hands of Leeds. So perhaps one more opportunity for them to try and extend this lead.
Hold, mate. Hold, yeah. Hold.
Well, that's great defence again from the Rhinos. I think that was 5 back-to-back sets they had to defend on their try line there.
Move to.
And they've come up trumps there and forced the error out of Widnes. That'll give some kudos there to their head coach, Brad Arthur. He'll be happy with that.
It isn't the big scoreline that we've seen in some of these games across the weekend, Hendo, but in a way Brad Arthur will probably be happier that his team have been in a dogfight and he has been able to blood some of these youngsters in a real competitive game of rugby league. He's Newman.
Yeah, absolutely. And the bottom line is, when you're playing in the Challenge Cup, it's knockout rugby league. You've just got to win the game. Doesn't matter how pretty or ugly it is. You just got to win the game, get yourself into the next round. And the Rhinos have effectively done that. Has it been their best performance? No. But it's their first competitive hit out of the season. So they're going to be a little bit clunky. They're going to be a little bit not quite on the pace. Oh, what a shot!
Snapped in half.
One hold.
Good shot there from Brown.
George Brown has shown a little bit of everything in this game.
Well, that was a rib tickler, wasn't it?
Wow. Tom. Hold, Danny.
Good timing.
Widnes just now labouring their way upfield a little bit as we enter the final throes of what has been a very entertaining cup tie. Abdul with a little trick kick over the top, but can Widnes finish strong? Ince will just take the tackle.
His legs. Up. Goal for.
But into Leeds territory they come again. Now they'll look to find some width on the right hand side, still going. Jack Owens gets the offload away. Here's Murray out to Abdul. Abdul again puts boot to ball. That I think is going to go too far, but Croft is forced into touch. Widnes will have one more set on the Leeds line.
Yeah, they'll get an opportunity to have a final say, and it's that man again, Jordan Abdul. He's been the architect this afternoon for the Widnes Vikings. A lot of the positive players come through. Has come through him, and I think Liam Moore's just going back for a penalty here.
Well, the hooter has gone.
Penalty there, boys.
Yeah, there's a penalty.
I think we are coming back for one last play. So perhaps Widnes will just try and pull something out of their box of tricks here. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I think it's been a credible performance from the Widnes Vikings this afternoon. Head coach Alan Coleman will be proud of his men. Yeah, they've stayed in the fight. They've had to face some adversity as a group. They haven't had much field position or opportunity until the back end of this game, where they're now starting to try and ask some questions. But the final play of the game, Lewis, is Abdul will put it up.
And he does come back down in a Widnes hand, so still we go on. Another kick through. Croft will just kill that off. And that will be that here at the DCBL Stadium. Widnes Vikings making a real fist of it, but it is the Leeds Rhinos who advance to the 4th round of the Betfred Challenge Cup. And they have had to do it the difficult way, and they've had to really work for that.
Yeah, they certainly have, and that's credit to the Widnes Vikings. They've come here with a mindset and mentality that they were going to challenge a top 4 Super League team in Leeds Rhinos, and they've done that. Yeah, we can argue it's Leeds' first competitive fixture of 2026, missing a few of their big hitters, but they still had a formidable side on paper there. Still had a lot of quality out there on show for them, but equally some bright young talent on show as well, which will really benefit from the experience of playing against an established side in the Widnes Vikings. From the Widnes perspective, I think their coach will be really proud of his men's efforts. The semi-professional side went toe-to-toe for the full 80 minutes. Yes, they didn't have many opportunities to post points, but I think it was dead set a great effort all round from the Vikings and made it an entertaining contest for us.
Well, Hendo, I'm going to leave you to talk through the action from that cup tie. I'm going to head pitch side to get some reaction.
No worries. Well, the first try of the game was scored by young George Brown. A lovely weighted kick from Brodie Croft, isolating Fleming one-on-one with Newman. Newman does enough to disrupt Fleming's catch, and the ball bounces back for Brown to open the scoring. But the Vikings responded. Shocking pass there from Johnston, collected from Connell, and a little bit off the cuff there. Great vision from the fullback Nathan Connell to see that the Rhinos were up high, in tight, and that's what created the opportunity for him to thread the kick in behind the line for Mike Butt to score the first try for the Vikings. As we see here, Mike Butt collects the grubber kick in behind the line. And that leveled the scores at 6 points apiece as Abdul converted from the sideline. But it was the Rhinos' response here. Brodie Croft, the man of the match, stepping off the right foot, makes the initial line break, finds Danny Levi, who had literally just come onto the field at that stage to score the Rhinos' second try. And we see great vision from Croft. He sees that Jack Bibby, the number 20 for the Vikings, is wide defensively from the ruck, going out. That created the trigger and opportunity back on the inside. And then literally, after scoring that try, they win a penalty off the kickoff. They get a quick tap. They move the point of attack to the right-hand side. We see some wonderful offload play from Watkins. Newman back on the inside to Croft. Croft finds that man, Jared O'Connor, as he comes into frame now, bursting through the space, back through the middle third. And George Brown, the young fullback, back on the inside, gets his second try of the day. And then here, wonderful tackle from Ryan Ince. So this was in the second half. Some opportunities for the Rhinos, but some wonderful, wonderful defence from the Vikings. And here, Adam Lawton, who made a big difference off the bench when he came on with the ball. Fantastic line break, great enterprising play from him to put the kick ahead from the back rower. It's a shame he didn't have a quicker man on his inside to get there. And we see here Jordan Abdul creating the next try for the Widnes Vikings with a lovely little kick play to try and get Lawton one-on-one with the Leeds defender. Lawton does enough to tap it back into the hands of Joe Lyon, who promotes the ball right to Mike Butt, who comes off the right foot, improves the angle for his kicker, Abdul. But this try was sensational from Riley Lum. Individual brilliance, because times were nervy for the Rhinos as the Vikings got within 6 points of them at this stage of the second half with 10 minutes to go. But Riley Lum with some individual brilliance, done fantastically well here to find some space in between Fozzard and Johnston. Showed great speed, agility and balance to round himself around Nathan Connell and score arguably the try of the half. Fantastic. And close here to the try line. Matty Fozzard almost nicks a try right on full time to improve the scoreline for the Vikings. And at that stage, the Rhinos were well and truly ahead. A fantastic Challenge Cup try that finishes up Leeds Rhinos 25 points to 12. We'll get some after-match reaction shortly with our Betfred player of the match, Brodie Croft, who for me this afternoon was quite influential for the Rhinos, had a hand in a couple of the tries. Kicking game was instrumental in pinning that Vikings team back deep within their own line. And I think we're all set to go. So
Brodie, first,
going to hand over now to Lewis Smith, who's with our Betfred.
I know you guys didn't expect a cakewalk
Challenge
today,
Cup
but
player of the
you had
match,
to do that
Brodie
the hard
Croft.
way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some would say that they didn't expect this sort of match, but to be honest, myself personally and our whole team, we expected it. Widnes, they're a very physical team, some real class players in there. They're playing some good footy there in the championship, and so there was everything we expected and some more. Obviously, when it started getting tight there, you could feel their energy, their fans getting right behind them, and yeah, it was tight, but that's what we want going into round one. Gives us a real boost for round one, knowing that we've got the physicality and got some knocks out of it, and we'll build from there.
Yeah, your first competitive hit out of the season. I suppose you would have much rather a game like that than some of the big scorelines we've seen elsewhere in this round.
Yeah, definitely. I think it helps with your mentality. Like you got to win them any way you can. So sometimes then they're not going to be as clean as you want, but I thought our boys controlled what we could control. Probably want to fix up some of our errors there, particularly play one. We really hurt ourselves a lot there on some play ones and really kept them in the contest. So if we can fix that up going into next week, we'll be better for it.
And some young players that came through today and made debuts. Brown at fullback looked really kind of astute and did what he had to do really well. For the more senior players in the squad, you must have been really pleased to see those young guys come through.
Yeah, definitely. They've all had a really good pre-season. They've been with us for a good 18 months training with the first team, so it's really pleasing to see them out there, and I'm really proud that we could get a result fitting for the occasion of them.
Just lastly, you mentioned the way that sets you up going into round one. How do you feel you're positioned ahead of what will be a long season?
Yeah, really good. I think we've had strong pre-season. Everyone's had strong pre-season. Haven't versed anyone yet, so that's our first proper hit out. And yeah, going into round one, we'll be better for it. A few boys coming back next week as well, which will be good. And yeah, can't wait. Really looking forward to it.
Well, Brody, congratulations. You are our Betfred player of the match. We'll let you get off, but enjoy your place in the next round.
Awesome. Thank you.
We'll bring Andrew Henderson back into the fold, who's made his way down from the commentary position, still hoping that we'll be able to hear from Brad Arthur. But Hendo, from a Leeds perspective, as kind of Brody alluded to there, job done. Wasn't anything spectacular at times, but in the hat for the next round, and they've had a really tight game ahead of what will be a tough start to the season next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we could say it's their first competitive hit out for 2026, so it was never going to be perfected, that performance this afternoon, especially with as well a number of changes, a number of young players getting an opportunity or making their debuts, and a number of key pivotal players missing here this afternoon for the Rhinos. So I think, as you said there, I think they'll be pleased they just got here, they got the job done, they did enough to win the game. I said there were some encouraging signs from them too. I thought some of their goal line defence this afternoon really was strong, and because there was opportunities in that first half that Widnes early in the first half had plenty of field position and were pressing the line, but just couldn't find a way through the attacking plays. And equally at the back end of that second half, I think Leeds had to defend 5 sets on their try line and come up trumps. So I think there'll be some encouraging signs and pleasing signs from the Rhinos point of view. The coaching team will be happy with, but equally there's some areas there they certainly need to tidy up. But I think we'll see a different Leeds Rhinos team as we come into round one of the Super.
And a lot of positives from a Widnes perspective as they continue on in the Betfred Championship. But the big parts of that game that they gave as good as they got out there.
I was extremely proud of that Widnes performance, and I think their head coach will be as well. I think you look at the way they're semi-professional players, and they've turned up here today. They were missing a couple of players too today with the Vikings, but again they suffered some adversity early in the first half. They lost Danny Langtree, who's one of their kind of stalwart players. He didn't come back into the frame, so that put them under pressure with their substitutions. And I think you and I both thought they'd fall away in that second half, especially the manner in which Leeds raised their tempo just before half time. It almost looked ominous that the Vikings were maybe going to collapse in that second half. But credit to them, they stayed in the fight, they managed to hang in there, they got within 6 points of the Rhinos until Riley Lam sort of broke the deadlock with a brilliant individual piece of play to sort of just give the Rhinos that breathing space. But I think certainly the Vikings can be extremely proud of their efforts. I thought Jordan Abdul's kicking game was sensational this afternoon. It was a real weapon for them and caused the Rhinos some problems at times, and also helped get his team some much needed field position.
And in terms of the occasion, which is kind of what the format at this stage of the Betfred Challenge Cup is designed to give us, we were stood at the back of the stand that was full of those Widnes fans, and for that sort of 5-10 minute spell in the second half, and it was a 6-point game, it was absolutely bouncing in there.
Oh, you could feel the energy from the crowd, couldn't you? You could feel it. The atmosphere was brilliant, and they created a lot of noise, and they're passionate fans, the Vikings. And I think this club certainly has aspirations, I think, to get themselves back into Super League at some stage in the future, and I think being able to deliver performances like today in front of their home support and their key partners, I think certainly doesn't do them any harm.
Well, I think Brad Arthur may have gone into the sheds to start the debrief with his Leeds Rhinos team, but they are in the hat for the 4th round of the Betfred Challenge Cup. The draw is on Monday. We hand over to our friends and colleagues at the BBC tomorrow for what should be an absolute belter as the London Broncos welcome the Bradford Bulls. Hendo, great to have you with us. Betfred Challenge Cup Rugby League alive and well.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and like I said, it's great to see the Championship clubs getting the opportunity to bring Super League rugby to their fans and have an opportunity to challenge their Super League counterparts. And I think the Widnes Vikings done their team and their town proud today.
So all eyes on London tomorrow, and then of course Monday the draw for the 4th round of the Betfred Challenge Cup. Fantastic to have you with us across 2 belts and cup ties last night, of course, in Cumbria and here in Widnes today. Loads of content already on the channel and plenty more to come. Our Betfred Super League season preview available now to watch on demand, so if you're hanging around on this channel, click onto that, and there's 45 minutes of build-up from all 14 clubs from Wednesday's season launch. But until we know where we're going for the 4th round, we will wait and see what that draw throws up, and we will see you next time.